I guess moving on to our second topic, looking at the Chicago White Sox. Man, what a start to the year. I mean, we are, a few weeks in, we are below 200% in a winning percentage. I don't think that's going to change much with how many days go by here in the next week or so, but man, just the way it's kind of all, shaken out. Wayne, I just want to get your thoughts and what, you know, you may basically just want to say at this point, from where you were during the off season to where we are currently, where you think we will be. Just put it all out there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Tommy Pham signing is gonna do too much for us. I feel like so. Yeah, this is definitely a season where, all right, let's just suck. Like, let's call it what it is. We're gonna suck for now. Let's get the number one pick or something. Let's move on. Let's just get as much draft capital, and then hopefully, Jerry Reinsdorf just doesn't screw this up and like fires everybody, keeps on putting us in this cycle of firing managers, GMs, or whatever, or sticking with the GM for maybe 10 seasons too long. Hopefully the cycle breaks here and things just get a little bit better. So, I will say, I am going to put my allegiance for the White Sox on a hold. I'm going to lease out my allegiance to the Seattle Mariners, actually. So I am going to sign a 3-year deal with them right now.
Oh no.
Um, Signing a 3-year deal because I'm pretty sure the White Sox are not going to be better in 2027. So, maybe 2028, we can negotiate, figure things out, again, the leverage. So I'm going to be cheering on for the Seattle Mariners for the next 3 seasons until the end of the 2027 season. Hopefully Julio Rodriguez brings a world championship in that time frame. I think there's a lot of great prospects there happening, great pitching staff, and hey, the city is due for a World Series. So, yeah, I am going to be a Mariners fan for the next 3 years.
That is awesome. And I actually think that's probably a great timeline to get reinvested in the Chicago White Sox at this point. I mean, it's ugly. I mean, we kind of knew it was going to be ugly. I mean, looking at the offseason, Tommy Pham is a respectable baseball player. Like, I think he already becomes one of our top five hitters, I would say, for the
Yeah.
year, just being on our team. But today, I was just kind of looking at the last few days and stuff. Like Gavin Sheets is out in right field. That's not playing into the philosophy of fast. You wanted Sheets to be a first baseman, a DH, and you wanted to get away from using him in the outfield. Like he's back in the outfield. I've heard Griffol saying that they want to put Eloy perhaps in right field for some games now. I mean, that goes against playing fast. Bringing up Tommy Pham with the recent signing of Robbie Grossman, like now what are you doing? You are now blocking guys like Dominic Fletcher, Oscar Colas. You're blocking a Zach Deloche. You're blocking a lot of guys that need an opportunity to show that they can play into this new philosophy. Like they're all going to get blocked for playing time at this point. So I think the whole philosophy sucks. I think the whole organization is just it's an embarrassment. And I think going throughout this year, the one thing that I'm actually rooting for is like I kind of want them to break the most losses of all time record. Like I think it stands at like 120 plus. I think it's like 122 total losses from like a team in the early 1900s or something, 1800, late 1800s or something. But it's like I kind of want them to break that record just to prove how bad everything that they've done from top to bottom has been. And I'm almost laughing every time I watch a game where they drop it. And this is coming from a guy with a banner on his wall and has been like a fan for 30 years at the very least. And it's sad, but it's just we're so beyond the sad parts that it's almost like we're all just kind of laughing now.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the only excitement I get right now is, oh, what's Garrett Crochet doing? Like, is he pitching, 6 innings of one earned run ball, 7, 8 strikeouts? He's doing pretty well. Like, that's been like the only highlight I feel like of the White Sox this season. But yeah, like you meant, like the hitting's been atrocious, right? I think it's we've gotten the most shutouts or tied for the most shutouts through like 16, 17 games or something like that. So definitely, lots to be desired. But yeah, I don't, yeah, like I came into the season not expecting too much, and it's met my expectations. So I don't know what else to say with regards to that. Was I going to predict that, some of our top players are going to be hurt? Possibly, because they've been hurt oftentimes the past couple of seasons anyway. But like you were mentioning, though, if we do break the record for most losses, then is this like a designation of like, okay, maybe this play wasn't working whatsoever. Maybe I was trying to be all cutesy about, just hiring internally and stuff. Maybe I had to just, well, maybe Jerry had to sell the team, right? Or maybe I had to like get somebody in, a general
Yeah.
manager from, yeah, like from one of these great organizations, whether it be like the Tampa Bay Rays or the Baltimore Orioles, but what they're able to do out there, they're not a Yankee or Dodger team with a humongous payroll, so maybe we're able to pull somebody from over there, or some of these other organizations that are doing pretty well, I think overall. So I mean, yeah, there's just so many ways to go about it, but I mean, they just keep on doing the same stupid things, getting people from similar systems. It's like there needs to be some like way out of the box thinking on how to construct a team, how to construct an organization, from the director of scoutings, right, to player development. Like there has to be a whole revamp. And yeah, in the next couple of years, I just don't see that happening. I feel like the White Sox are probably going to be just unloading a lot of their talent. A lot of the contracts similar to what we've seen, I think, with Dylan Cease, who's now doing really well out there. It's like kind of like a Cy Young candidate over there at the Padres, and I think he's like a sub 2 ERA and a bunch of strikeouts there. So I think that's going to be happening with a lot of the White Sox players that are currently on here, playing hurt. Eloy, maybe he goes over to another organization that just needs a DH, and great, like shut up with this talk about playing the outfield. Just go hit. Please don't get hurt. We're all good here, okay? Luis Robert, like such a tremendous talent, but he's been hurt up and down, throughout his career at the White Sox here. And Yoan Moncada too, like same thing. Like saw him pull up there running to first base. I'm like, is this just luck, or is it just awful bad luck, or is it just bad, I don't know, overall management? I feel like there's just a lot of things that are just not going the White Sox way, and it's kind of just manifesting to what we see on the field here. So yeah, I just can't watch anymore. I'm just gonna go ahead and cheer for the Mariners, and I'll definitely make a trip out there, and or maybe catch a game here whenever they're in town, because yeah, it just ain't pretty. The baseball is being played on the South Side right now. It just isn't pretty whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, to the injuries for those three guys. I mean, this is nothing new for any of those three. I mean, some more than others. I think Eloy has probably missed the most time of the trio, but I mean, the fact that most of these guys don't even hustle, I'd say Luis Robert definitely does, a fair amount of hustling, but those other two, they don't hustle a lot. And maybe there's good reason why they don't hustle a lot. Maybe it's because they're, scared that if they actually do turn up and start to run, like they'll be on their butts. And that's pretty much all that's happened, kind of starting off this year. But I feel like the training staff points usually get brought in, like they need to hire a new training staff and this and that. And like, I think they actually did in the last year or so. So I think they did bring in like a fair amount of new trainers, but at some point, like guys need to be accountable and like go out and stretch and take care of their muscles and like do the right type of strength training. Like maybe they're doing things that aren't baseball specific in terms of their workouts, but at the end of the day, like you got to know your body. And for these guys to continually get injured year in year out, like it is on them at a certain extent, but then as an organization, like we now know and should know moving forward for all these years, like you cannot count on any of these three, like unfortunately, to play more than 100 games per season, and you shouldn't pay them as such. You shouldn't prioritize them as such. And the fact that Eloy is now back, it blocks, like I'm saying, it blocks some of these other younger guys, unproven guys that we need to see play from getting on the field, because now our best hitter has been Gavin Sheets, and now he has to find some other place to play because Eloy's going to take his spot at DH. We're still waiting on Vaughn at first. Like, so he goes right back in the outfield, which was our biggest problem last year, was our defense. And Yeah, so far we brought in a lot of defenders on free agent deals, and we're in the bottom 10 of defense in a lot of different metrics. So it's just all like it's very cringe. It's so laughable. Like I'm not even angry anymore. Like I was angry like a couple years ago. I'm not angry at this stage, but I definitely do want to see this team get sold in the next 2 or 3 years. I mean, I don't know how long Jerry's going to be around, but I hope whoever the Sox sell to cares a little bit about baseball as well as making money. Like, you don't have to be the biggest super fan of all time for baseball, but just like look at it as a business that needs to just be, invested in, needs to be splash with cash. Like, we just need a Chicago team to actually go for it and continually go for it in a market that's so big, man. We're the third largest market in the country. Like, let's go. Like, one of these teams stand up and like actually give one.
Yeah, if Mark Cuban was like, "Hey, you know what? I want to venture into the Chicago metropolitan area," like I would be all for it. And I don't know what his big plans would be, but I'm sure they would be great, and they would be completely different from whatever Jerry's been doing, right now. I feel like there would just be such a surge in energy, an ideas about business innovation, innovation for the community of, the South Side of Chicago, right? Maybe less talk about all this, moving to Nashville and stuff as well. And I think, just maybe a better overall product because, he's been able to at least win a championship there and have contending teams, at least, with the Dallas Mavericks there. So, I know his name's been tossed around, but I would love to see an owner such as him, like that actually cares and has a little bit more breath there, I feel like too. So I know he's getting a little bit older, but still, he still has a lot of energy that I think a lot of White Sox fans they are just hungry for because what's been happening with Jerry over there with the White Sox, as well as the Bulls too. Like it just feels like it's a little anemic right now, and there needs to be some optimism, I think, for the future for both organizations. Honestly, right now, thank you for the championships, with MJ and '05 there at the White Sox, but things just need to change, like because you can't just rest on those laurels right there. So, but yeah, hopefully better things to come. We'll see what happens in maybe 3 years. Maybe better. Maybe Mark Cuban does buy. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm looking, hoping for a better future, I should say, for the White Sox right now because it's not looking good.
No, not at all. I don't think it's going to get better. And enjoy the Mariners while you can. I think you do have 3 solid years of fandom to enjoy and not have to miss a beat over on the South Side. So yeah, we'll stay tuned on that front.